If you clicked on this video, you're about to uncover one of the most shocking turns in the Yu Menglong case, the mysterious black car that was caught on camera leaving Beijing's 798 art district, allegedly carrying his lifeless body. For the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what the world wasn't meant to see, the chilling eyewitness accounts, the suspicious security footage, and how this single car became the missing puzzle piece that could change everything we thought we knew about Yu Menglong's tragic end. So don't blink, because every second of this story matters. Now let's get straight into it. When the sun went down over the 798 museum on that quiet Friday night, few could imagine the chaos that was about to unfold. The museum, known for its exhibitions of modern art and experimental film, had been unusually crowded that evening. Cameras flashed, guests whispered, and Yu Menglong, the beloved actor known for his charm and calm demeanor, had been seen laughing and mingling with a small group near the east entrance. But according to security logs, at 10:37 p.m., the museum's power flickered for exactly 42 seconds. When the lights came back on, Yu Menglong was gone. At first, no one noticed. People assumed he had left early. But when his driver waited outside past midnight with no sign of him, and his phone remained switched off, something began to feel off. Then came the video. 2 days later, a blurry 32-second clip surfaced online. Shot from a nearby art store's outdoor camera, it showed a black Audi A8 pulling up to the rear loading area of the 798 museum. At 11:14 p.m., two men in dark clothing were seen carrying something large, covered in what looked like a grey sheet, into the trunk. The shape under the sheet was unmistakable, human. At first, netizens dismissed it as fake. But then someone zoomed in on the footage, enhancing the details frame by frame. The license plate became visible: A71L8Z, a plate registered to a private company connected to a name that would soon dominate headlines, Li Zhan, a high-ranking event coordinator who reportedly handled celebrity appearances for exclusive art events. By the next morning, the video had vanished from Chinese social media platforms. Accounts that posted it were deleted, and links were scrubbed clean. But not before copies began circulating on international forums, with captions like "They tried to hide this" and "The car that took Yu Menglong." Let's rewind a bit. Earlier that week, several witnesses had reported seeing Yu Menglong arguing quietly with two men during a private art preview. One attendee, who later agreed to speak anonymously, said, "It wasn't loud, but the tension was obvious. One of the men grabbed his wrist. You looked uncomfortable," he said, something like, "You promised this would stay between us." That same witness claimed that one of the men, later believed to be Li Zhan, was wearing the exact same dark trench coat as one of the figures seen in the car footage. And then, the real shocker, when investigators tried to access the 798 museum's internal CCTV footage, they were told the hard drives had been accidentally wiped due to a power malfunction. Accident? Or cover-up? As news spread, online sleuths began piecing together fragments of that night: timelines, camera angles, vehicle logs, and phone pings. What they found made the case even stranger. At exactly 11:32 p.m., traffic surveillance cameras caught the same Audi A8 leaving the 798 district, heading west toward Chaoyang. The car didn't reappear on any other camera for over 26 minutes, an impossible gap in Beijing's heavily monitored traffic network. When it finally resurfaced at 11:58 p.m., it was near a small, secluded warehouse area just outside the city limits. No one knows what happened during that 26-minute blackout. But according to one anonymous source from the Beijing Public Security Bureau, a separate tip had come in that same night about an unauthorized vehicle unloading near an old industrial complex. When officers arrived, the car was gone. By the following morning, Yu Menglong's team issued a vague statement saying he was taking time off for personal matters. But fans noticed something strange: none of his closest friends or co-stars posted anything in support. Silence. Utter silence. Meanwhile, employees at the 798 museum began resigning, 3 in 1 week. When a local reporter tried to interview them, they all gave nearly identical answers. "We're not allowed to talk about that night." This uniform response only fueled the fire. Who was silencing them, and why? Then, a new layer of mystery surfaced when drone footage, captured by a curious local just days later, showed a long, dark stain near the museum's back alley, roughly where the Audi had been parked in the video. The stain was cleaned up within hours after the footage leaked, but the video had already gone viral. Comments poured in, with people asking the same chilling question. Was that blood? Soon after, independent journalist Chen Rui began investigating the car's ownership. Her findings were explosive. The black Audi A8 was not only registered under Li Zhan's event company, but had also been leased temporarily to a private security contractor that night, a firm known for providing discreet transport services to high-profile clients. According to Chen, the contract was sealed just 3 hours before Yu Menglong's disappearance. Then, Chen received something that sent chills down her spine, a message from an unknown number containing only a single photo. It showed the back of the same Audi, parked in a dimly lit underground garage. The timestamp read 12:46 a.m., less than 2 hours after the 798 incident. And lying next to the car's rear wheel was what looked like a white shirt sleeve, torn and stained. At this point, public outrage was boiling. #Justice for Yu Menglong trended across multiple platforms. But before Chen could publish her full report, she vanished. Her apartment was found empty, her laptop missing. Her final social media post simply read, "They're watching me. If something happens, look at the car." Her disappearance added a terrifying twist. If the car was truly carrying Yu Menglong's body, who was powerful enough to erase every trace of evidence and silence everyone trying to expose it? Days turned into weeks. Then, one late night, a whistleblower claiming to be a museum security technician contacted an independent forum. He leaked a short clip he claimed was from the original CCTV system before it was wiped. The footage was grainy but hauntingly clear enough. It showed a figure, seemingly Yu Menglong, being escorted by 2 men through a dim hallway inside the museum. He looked disoriented, his steps uneven. One man held his arm firmly, the other carried what looked like a small metallic case. Moments later, they disappeared out of frame, and the timestamp matched perfectly with the moment the external camera captured the Audi loading up. The next frame. Black screen. But here's where things took an even darker turn. An anonymous insider from the museum later revealed that an unlisted art installation had been scheduled for removal that night, a large sculpture wrapped in grey canvas, labeled simply Untitled 23B. Log sheets show it was moved out of the building at the exact same time as the Audi departure. The sculpture's dimensions: 183 centimeters in height, exactly Yu Menglong's height. The file for Untitled 23B disappeared from the museum's archives the next morning. At this point, even those who doubted the theories started questioning everything. How could so many coincidences happen within hours? And then, the most chilling piece of evidence surfaced. A motorist driving behind the Audi that night uploaded dashcam footage showing the car making an abrupt stop at a deserted intersection. For a brief moment, the car's trunk light flicked on, and in that split second, something white could be seen inside. Not just fabric, skin. That frame alone sent shockwaves through online communities. People began connecting the dots, reanalyzing every image, every timestamp, every interview. When authorities were pressed for comment, they released a single statement claiming the car in question was inspected and no evidence of foul play was found. But the public wasn't buying it. Especially after Li Zhan reportedly left Beijing the next day, boarding a private flight to Singapore and cutting all contact with his business partners. His company's website went offline, and every mention of him vanished from event listings. And then came a discovery that reignited everything: a maintenance report from an auto service center in Shanghai. The report detailed an Audi A8 matching the same license plate being brought in for deep trunk cleaning and interior replacement. The service date: 1 day after the museum incident. What were they cleaning? Meanwhile, Yu Menglong's family, under immense public pressure, released a heartbreaking statement, saying, "We are cooperating with authorities and seeking the truth. We ask for patience." But fans noticed inconsistencies. His parents avoided interviews, and when a reporter asked about the car footage, they abruptly left the conference. To this day, no official investigation results have been released. But online investigators refuse to let the story die. They've created digital maps, synchronized timestamps, and tracked the car's route. Many believe the body was transferred to a second vehicle that night, possibly in that 26-minute blackout window, and taken to an undisclosed location. Some even claim the museum's underground tunnel network, originally built during the Cold War, was used to move the body unseen. Fast forward to recent weeks, a new anonymous video appeared on a dark web forum titled 798 Truth Archive. In it, a masked voice claims to be one of the cleanup crew members hired that night. His words are chilling. "It wasn't supposed to go that far. They told us it was just a relocation. When we opened the trunk, we knew. But by then, there was no way out." The clip ends abruptly, with the voice whispering. The car wasn't just transport, it was the burial. Whether you believe the story or not, one thing is certain: this mystery has exposed cracks deep within the walls of power, privilege, and silence. The car that carried Yu Menglong's body out of the 798 museum isn't just a vehicle anymore. It's a symbol of everything hidden beneath Beijing's glamorous facade. And until the truth surfaces, that Audi A8 will remain a ghost on China's roads, a reminder that some stories refuse to be buried. If you've made it this far into the video, then you've seen just how deep this mystery runs. The evidence, the silence, the vanishing witnesses, it's chilling, and it demands answers. What do you think really happened that night at the 798 museum? Do you believe the car truly carried Yu Menglong's body? Or do you think there's an even bigger cover-up at play? Hours after the car was first spotted leaving the 798 museum, the area went into lockdown. Security guards were told to clear the back lanes, and workers were instructed not to speak to anyone about what they'd seen. But one guard, who later came forward under a hidden identity, confessed something that sent chills through investigators. He said, "I saw the car drive past the eastern gate. It didn't stop for ID check, it didn't slow down, but I swear I heard something from the trunk. Like a thump. Once. Then silence. That single sound changed everything. When analysts slowed down the footage of the Audi on the eastern surveillance camera, they noticed a faint shake from the rear end of the car right as it passed the checkpoint, as if something heavy had shifted inside. What could that be? Was it the weight of a lifeless body? Or was someone still alive in that trunk? Investigators began tracking the car's route using nearby CCTV timestamps. It was last seen on the main road heading toward the Chaoyang exit. But just before it reached the expressway, it made an unexpected left turn into a service lane that led to an abandoned textile factory. And guess what? That factory, according to archived records, was owned by a shell company registered to Li Zhen's assistant. Even more suspicious, the entire building had been cleared of machinery just 2 weeks before Yu Menglong disappeared. Why empty out a factory that fast unless it was being prepared for something else? Locals told journalists they often saw luxury cars coming in at night but never leaving until early morning. One food vendor nearby recalled seeing that same black Audi around midnight the day of the incident. He said, "2 men got out. They looked nervous. One kept glancing at his phone, the other opened the back door and checked something inside. I remember because they told me not to look." He didn't think much of it then. But now, it's impossible not to connect the dots. The car stayed hidden for exactly 47 minutes before it was seen again, this time on a quiet suburban road leading out of Beijing. But something was different. The grey sheet that had been covering the body in the museum footage was gone. Instead, a new object could be seen in the back seat through the tinted window, a black case, rectangular and metallic. Experts analyzing the footage claimed it looked like a mobile preservation box, the type used to store delicate materials or, chillingly, to delay decomposition in extreme temperatures. Was Yu Menglong's body inside that case? That theory gained traction when forensic investigators later confirmed that the Audi had undergone a temperature modification the following day at an auto garage in Shanghai, the same report mentioned in the original investigation. The trunk had been fitted with a cooling mechanism. Who installs a cooling system in their car trunk the very next day? Meanwhile, another shocking discovery came from a woman working at a nearby petrol station. She revealed to independent reporters that the Audi stopped there briefly around 12:10 a.m. When she walked up to offer service, one of the men stepped out, his hands visibly trembling. He paid in cash, told her not to issue a receipt, and said, "No record. You understand?" Then, as he turned to get back in the car, she noticed something under his sleeve, a red stain that looked unmistakably like blood. When she tried to report it the next morning, her workplace received a confidential order from higher authorities instructing them not to speak to any media. And just like that, another potential witness was silenced. But the biggest twist came when drone footage surfaced weeks later, captured by a night photographer who had been documenting the skyline. In one frame, you could see the Audi parked in a remote warehouse compound. Standing beside it were three men, one holding a flashlight, another opening what appeared to be the car's trunk. What they did next froze viewers worldwide. They lifted something wrapped in plastic, long, human-shaped, and placed it inside a metal crate. Then, as the drone zoomed in, one of them looked directly up at the camera and signaled to turn it off. Moments later, the lights went out. That footage has since disappeared from the Chinese internet. But screenshots remain. And one eerie detail keeps coming up in online discussions. The crate had a label on it that read Exhibit Return. Exhibit Return. Could it mean the museum's untitled 23B installation wasn't just art, but a coded delivery? Another clue emerged when workers at the 798 museum claimed that a sealed truck arrived early the next morning, hours after the Audi's disappearance. It was labeled Restoration Shipment, Confidential. No one was allowed to inspect its contents. The manifest listed only one item, weight, 78 kilograms. For context, Yu Menglong weighed around 76 kilograms. By the time investigators tried to trace that truck, it had already left Beijing and crossed 3 provinces, destination unknown. To this day, the car itself has never been found again. The plate number disappeared from the National Registry, the vehicle identification number was erased from import records, and even the garage that serviced it was mysteriously shut down for renovation. Some believe the Audi was destroyed. Others think it was dismantled and shipped overseas. But there's one haunting theory gaining popularity, that the car still exists buried deep beneath the industrial complex outside Chaoyang, encased in concrete as part of a secret cover-up. And if that's true, then somewhere under that cold grey ground lies the silent witness to one of China's most haunting celebrity mysteries. As of now, no one knows what truly happened to Yu Menglong after that night. Was he taken alive and silenced? Or was that black Audi A8 really carrying his lifeless body out of the 798 museum? What's undeniable is that too many people vanished, too many cameras failed, and too many secrets were buried beneath polished statements and closed doors. But one thing is clear, people aren't forgetting. Every new leak, every uncovered detail pushes this mystery closer to the truth. And the world is watching. If you've stayed with me till now, thank you, because your attention is what keeps stories like this alive. Now I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Yu Menglong was still alive when the car left the 798 museum? Do you believe that the factory stop was a setup or the real location of what happened next? And what about the missing crate labeled Exhibit Return? Could it be the key to everything? Drop your theories in the comments, I'll be reading them all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you want me to keep digging deeper into the mysteries surrounding Yu Menglong's case. Because this story, it's far from over. And trust me, the next part will leave you speechless.